right? So let's say they're thinking about working with two different service providers. Both of them charge the exact same amount of money. Both of them get the exact same kind of results. They have great referrals from friends, from trusted sources, and they go on the internet and they Google them. Maybe they even go to both of their social medias. And one of the service providers has tons of media logos on their website. It says they've been featured in all these different places that you're familiar with. And then you go and you Google, you go down the rabbit hole and they've been on TV and you see all these interviews and you see on their social media that they've got all these different media publications that they're posting. And then you go to the other service provider, charges the same amount of money, gets the same results, but there's no credibility from a trusted source. Which one are you going to choose? You're going to definitely go with the one that has the media. And it's just something psychologically that happens to people. They want to know that the person that they're choosing is trusted. So it's instant credibility, and it is the tiebreaker, essentially, anytime someone's trying to make a decision on who to work with.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new edition of the None of Your Business podcast. Shawn and Lacey back with you once again. And just like every week, we have an amazing guest, plural. We have two amazing guests. And you know what's really cool is over time, we've had the wonderful opportunity to get to meet people, interview people, and then develop relationships. And they're back on the None of Your Business podcast. And this is going to be super fun because we know them better. We know what they stand for better. We know what they're all about better. We've used their services for
Tons of our
ourselves.
clients have used
Tons
their
of our
services.
clients have used their services. And we've seen with our own eyes, we've seen from experience the benefit of getting media. If you have a big message and you want to get your message out to the world, well, you need media. And we talk all the time about video. We talk about the importance of conveying your message through video. But then what happens is, like, you know, media, there's social media, but then there's like media. And, you know, a lot of times people think like, well, maybe, you know, news is dead, or maybe, you know, the morning shows, nobody's watching those. And that's absolutely not true.
Right.
And when you want to establish credibility, when you want to establish yourself as an authority, there's really no better way. You could, of course, post whatever you want on your own social media. But if you're on CNN or Fox News, or if you're on ABC, you're on Good Morning America, the Today Show, that is instant credibility. And beyond that, these two know what to do even beyond that. Because you get the media appearance, but then you really have to do the work, right? You have to showcase that media to really drive that point home and show the world that you are a recognized authority. So we're going to talk all things media here for the next, 30 minutes or so with Chris Winfield and Jen Gottlieb. They know all things media. Chris and Jen, welcome to the None of Your Business podcast.
Oh, you're so excited to be here. Anytime we get to chat with the two of you is a good day. So we can't wait to talk about it.
It's a great day.
It's a great day. First, I have to say, because it's so rare that we get to have like another couple on the podcast.
Yes.
People say that to us all the time when we go on their podcast. And now I get to say it to y'all. So I love having you on here because I love the dynamic of such a powerful duo being on here, being able to discuss this stuff with us. So I'm excited.
Well, our audience, service providers who believe passionately in what they do, what they bring to the world. Tell us for anybody who still, for some reason, I don't know, maybe they don't have a computer. I don't even know how they're listening to it. Why media? Why is media so important for these guys?
Well, here's the thing. You hit a lot of the points in the beginning. Like I was like, wow, that's really amazing. Shawn, he knows what he's talking about. Here's the thing. Nowadays, like, we're very focused on social media, and everyone's like, okay, I'm going to tell everybody that I'm awesome, right? But everybody can go on social media and say that they're awesome. We can all do that. I can go on and create all kinds of photos and things and say I'm great and write all the things about myself. But think about it. If you were the customer, right? Your customer's going online onto the internet, and if they're thinking about working with you, they're going to actually like go and Google you, right? So let's say they're thinking about working with two different service providers. Both of them charge the exact same amount of money. Both of them get the exact same kind of results. They have great referrals from friends, from trusted sources, and they go on the internet and they Google them. Maybe they even go to both of their social medias. And one of the service providers has tons of media logos on their website. It says they've been featured in all these different places that you're familiar with. And then you go and you Google, you go down the rabbit hole, and they've been on TV, and you see all these interviews, and you see on their social media that they've got all these different media publications that they're posting. And then you go to the other service provider, charges the same amount of money, gets the same results, but there's no credibility from a trusted source. Which one are you going to choose? You're going to definitely go with the one that has the media. And it's just something psychologically that happens to people. They want to know that the person that they're choosing is trusted. And what media does, it's earned trust, essentially. So it's not just them saying they're awesome or you saying you're awesome. It's someone like Forbes or Entrepreneur or The Today Show or Good Morning America. These outlets that we've known forever that essentially, maybe some people don't trust them, but like we do in the back of our mind, in our subconscious, we know that if someone's being put on their show or in their magazine or in their publication, that they must be good at what they do. So it's instant credibility, and it is the tiebreaker, essentially, anytime someone's trying to make a decision on who to work with.
That's so true. I know you have a question, but even if you don't like CNN or you don't like Fox News, those are very polarizing.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, opinion aside, it still lends credibility no matter which one
let's
it is.
Yeah, let's say I hate CNN, but I see some doctor on CNN. I'm like, whoa, how'd they get on CNN? Or let's say I hate Fox News and I see a doctor. I'm like, whoa, how'd they get on Fox News? It doesn't matter even if you like it. It's instant credibility.
Now, here's what I want to say, because I know there's a lot of people out there thinking, but I can't be on TV. Like, I'm too nervous. I'm too scared. I barely can get on Facebook Lives and do video. But we're not just talking about TV. I mean, Jen, you were listing a couple other media outlets that would still lend credibility. So for the person that's a little bit scared to step into that realm, what other kinds of things can you help people with that may not be full blown, get on TV, get in front of a huge audience, but can still lend credibility in the way that you're talking about?
So I think it's really interesting, even for those people that we've had a lot of them. We do the Be On TV Bootcamp, where we've had over 10,000 people complete it. And so many of those people came in and they had never even pressed go live on Facebook. So just like you're talking about, like literally, but for some reason they got called into it, or, somebody referred them like you guys. And one of the things that we really help people with is just your confidence, like around that. And the idea that you don't have to be anyone other than who you are. So I think where like a lot of the worry comes from and the anxiety is from people thinking that they have to sound a specific way, they have to dress a specific way, or they have to be a talking head, or, I'm never going to be as good as this commentator, or whatever it is. And we say the exact opposite. We say, be the most you can be. So, because that's like what will make you stand out. And I know, like, if you think about it, from the service providers that you guys work with, and we know your community well. We know the people. They are amazing people. I want to say that because, we actually are really involved, and we know, and we've met them in person, online, all that. And they're absolutely amazing. And I know that you help them in terms of differentiating themselves and, thinking about like, what's that thing that makes them unique? And so we always teach people to really lean into their own story and be themselves. Now, let's say all that stuff, you listen and you're still like, all right, I'm not going on TV, Chris.
No, Chris, I'm not doing it. Let me just tell a quick story about a doctor. So we had this one doctor that we were working with, absolutely amazing woman. She has a clinic, she has a product, she had adopted like 6 kids, like just unbelievable and really, really accomplished. But she had a deathly fear of being on TV. So much so that we got her booked, and the first time that we got her booked, she literally made herself sick and did not show up for the booking. And that's how scared she was. So, we worked with her, got her past those fears. And one of the things that we really drive home to people is that
it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to get your message out there. It's your responsibility to, you know, show up, because if you don't, that somebody else is going to, that's not as good as you, that doesn't care as much, and isn't going to be able to get the results that you can get. So with this woman, she finally started doing TV, and you finished the story.
Yeah. So she did a couple of media segments, and this is how confidence works. I swear, Lacey, every time you do it, it gets a little bit easier, because every time we do something that we're scared of, and we get to the other side and we're like, oh, we didn't die, our subconscious is like, okay, wasn't that bad? Maybe I could try it again. So
Lacey's good on TV.
She's a rock star. But anyone else that is sitting here thinking, oh, I know what Lacey said and I resonate with that, I would be so scared.
Yep.
So Nicole was so scared. Dr. Nicole is her name. And so we ended up pushing her. She got on. She's like, not so bad. She got on again. She got on again. And one time she was on one of her local stations, and there was a mother with a suicidal teenager watching this segment. And she had tried absolutely every single thing she could try to help her daughter. And she saw this doctor on television and decided to call her office. And she's like, I don't know what else to do. I know you were talking about nutrition and some specific
how it
things,
helps with your brain,
how it helps and everything.
And
I'd love to take my daughter in. So because this mother saw this doctor on this show,
because the doctor got past her fear.
Yep. Brought her daughter into her practice. This doctor was able to save this girl's life. And this little girl is no longer suicidal. She's thriving. And if Dr. Nicole did not put herself out there and did not like put her own stuff aside and do it for the people that she could help, maybe this little girl wouldn't be alive right now. And it's just a reminder that if you have a service or a product or a story that can help people, that can really change people's lives, it's your responsibility to be visible. You've been given this gift. It is your responsibility. And if you stop thinking about you and how you feel and you being insecure and stuff, and you just start thinking about that girl out there that needs you, or that guy or that woman or that man or whoever it is that really could use your service, then it takes the fear out of it, really. And if you just get into service mode, and it's a really easy mindset shift to make to be able to start putting yourself out there.
Here's my hack. Is 4 letters, H.O.P.E, help one person every day. So I use this before I go on and speak on a stage, before I go on TV or anything, because the idea, like for most people, is just like you said, like going on in front of millions of people. Like that's what we're thinking. We're thinking we have to be able to please millions of people. No matter what, you're not going to be able to do that. There's going to be at least one, you know, just like this. Like somebody might be loving hearing me speak right now. Somebody might be like, oh my God, I hate this guy. That's okay. So I always think about help one person every day. So my goal for any interview, anything that I do, any piece of content, I just think about, all right, I'm going to just help one person out there. And when you do that, it makes it really, really easy, because it's not about you anymore.
Yeah, I remember. So I have 2 things. I actually remember the first time Shawn got off of a call with you, and you had told him about H.O.P.E, help one person every day. And that so resonated with us. And we loved that about you and knew immediately that we were going to be able to connect. But I love about the story that was so powerful is it doesn't matter if 100 people were listening and 99 people hated you. It's the one person that's life was radically shifted and changed by this service and this message that you get to get out there by being visible. And if you can, like you said, focus on that one individual, nobody else matters, right? And that can help you overcome that. And I think that's such a powerful, moving story for anybody out there that's nervous or scared.
Well, I want to make sure we oftentimes, listen to a podcast and you go all the way till the end, and then you find out how to work with somebody. Chris, you mentioned the Be On TV challenge. I want to get that. I want to get the links, the URL. How do people get signed up for that? I want to get that out of the way up front, and we'll continue to mention it. But I don't want everybody to wait until the end to find out how it
I appreciate that. So if you go if you're listening, it's really, really simple. Be On TV, just like it says, bootcamp.com, and then do a / after that and type in Black Diamond Club, so that you're going to get something extra special. You get a little discount, just for listening to this. So beontvbootcamp.com / Black Diamond Club. That's where you're going to get into that's the premier level for the extra special price too. But yeah, and you know, even with that, we run this boot camp, which is 5 days where we teach people how to get on TV. And then, the first day it's like about mindset, and we really take people through the process, just like what we think when people work with us in our agency. As you guys know, we're not just focused on here, get on TV. It's like you focus on, how you're going to show up, the training, all these different parts. But we have had people, so many people, go from having zero TV, like people haven't even pressed Facebook Live, and wind up on TV within those 5 days. Like I'll just share another quick story with you because I love stories. We had this guy, Stefan. He was a coach, and he had the previous year he had spent about $75,000 with a PR firm, and they got him zero media, zero TV, and his goal, his dream is he moved to Hollywood. His dream was to be on TV. His goal was to be like a recognized media expert. And at the end of the year, he went to this this company, and they're like, listen, you're the problem. You're the reason that we can't get you on TV. You got to change a lot about you. So we want to stop working. Can you imagine like what that does to somebody to like say like, all right, we failed, but it's because of you. And the guy has an amazing personality. So he wound up coming, doing our boot camp. He was super quiet because he was like, I think, part of him thought that this isn't going to work. And, it didn't, a year of paying a PR agency didn't work. So why would this? So, but he listened to what we said. He never said a word during the, the whole challenge. Stealth. And he wound up that weekend getting himself booked in his hometown. So he's on TV all of a sudden. So, for this nominal fee, he is now on TV. So his first dream had been realized. Then within a couple of days, got himself booked on CNN. And fast forward, like the first year, he did over 250 television appearances, including like some of his dreams of being on Hallmark and all this. He just threw an event where he basically created the news, over 1 billion impressions, and people make all these different things. So like that's the type of transformation that we have. And this guy's business has absolutely exploded. Like he has his own hashtag now. It's wild.
It's really cool because he wanted to be called America's Life Coach, right? When Stefan came to us, he was like, my clients call me America's Life Coach. I put it on my Instagram, I'm America's Life Coach. But because he didn't have that credibility and that authority from like the mainstream media or TV calling him America's Life Coach, he felt a little weird saying he's America's Life Coach. But now CNN put him on TV and they gave him a hashtag America's Life Coach. The Hallmark Channel had him on right there in the lower third. It said Stefan Lovegrove, America's Life Coach. Now
when they introduce him now, they're like, oh, since you're America's Life Coach.
America's Life Coach. So it made it so. And that's, just to circle back, that's the credibility factor, right?
He didn't have to change who he was.
1,000%. And even to double tap on what you guys were talking about with leverage and amplification, because we can bring that in now too, because 20% of the value of the hit is the hit. Is the TV segment or is the publication. 80% of the value is what you do with it after and how you use it. And so Stefan took all those TV spots and used them, put them on his websites, put them in his email copy, put them on his social media, right? That hashtag America's Life Coach on CNN.
His ads, pages.
Everywhere, credibility. And if you are debating on if you want to go work with Stefan or not, I mean, you would go to his social media even, and he's not just a life coach saying that he's great. It's all these different news stations saying that he is America's Life Coach. And that was not the case last year.
So obviously you guys are super polished. You've been on TV many times yourselves. Sometimes what happens is that causes people to say, oh, well, I could never be like them. And I also, for this program, I want to make sure that we get the real content. I want to know 10,000 people, beontvbootcamp.com/Black Diamond Club if you want the cool stuff. You should register. But we say this every week on the podcast. Here's what I know. A lot of people will go and register. Some people will actually show up and do the stuff, like consume the content. And even fewer will actually do anything.
Right. Execute.
I want to talk about not just the success stories. I want to talk to the people who love the idea, but for whatever reason, imposter syndrome, fear. I want to talk to the people that will sign up but not do anything. What are some of the things that you guys have seen, the big mistakes that people have made, that they had all the promise and potential in the world, but they just shot themselves in the foot, and how can we fix that?
I love this question
What a
because it's
great
something I've been
question.
thinking about so much, especially this year, just in terms of accountability, in terms of sticking to your commitments, and how much different people's lives would be if you do that. So the big things that we see, Shawn, are so people that just sign up for every single thing. You know these people that they see a challenge or they see a course or they see this, and they're just hoping for some magic bullet, but they don't want to put any effort into it. It's the same thing with like a self-help book. Like the majority of people, the act of buying the book is what they're trying to get the transformation. Most people don't even open, or read on their Kindle the first page of a book. Like there's all these studies around that. So that's like one of the big things. Like, so what we ask people to do is like to show up before we start the boot camp. We do a pre-party where, we lay out like exactly you want to be successful with this. You want to get the results. You want to transform your life. You want to transform your business. Just follow these 5 simple steps. One of those is just showing up, showing up for yourself, showing up, making a commitment. That's one of the big things. The other thing is where people will, and you kind of alluded to this, but they'll psych themselves out before. They'll start comparing themselves to other people. They'll get imposter syndrome. And I've never met anyone. I've met, some of the most successful, richest people in the world. I've never met one person who doesn't have imposter syndrome. It's part of the deal. If you're putting yourself out there in any way, or if you're doing anything, you're going to have imposter syndrome. You're going to feel like a fraud, something. Just accept that. Just know that. Just be okay with that. And, that's like the thing. And like, just show up. And one of the things that we always do every single day is we try to do something that's going to make us uncomfortable. Whatever that is, something that's going to put us outside of our comfort zone. It doesn't have to be huge outside of our comfort zone, but just do something. And, that's the thing. If people just do that, and the act of just showing up sometimes and being engaged, if you're on Zoom with us, turning your video on and just sitting there and being engaged, like that could be a start right there. Boom, start right there. Then maybe the next day you just ask a question, or maybe you type into the chat, or maybe you reach out to somebody in the Facebook group. You take these simple actions, but what those simple actions do is they gain confidence for you. And from the confidence, then you're able to take bigger actions. And, for this, like it's about helping people get on TV, but it's really more. We always say that we're really a personal development company that is disguised as a media company. We just use media as the gateway, because we're going to push you to help put you outside of your comfort zone, because we all know you guys are living proof of this. You're outside of your comfort zone a lot. You're constantly doing brand new events, brand new things, where you could just do the easy thing. You could just keep one thing, but you're constantly pushing yourself. That's why you're successful. That's why you're happy.
I can't even imagine the impact that you guys have made by giving people that confidence, because even though, yes, it's going to be for being on TV, by just elevating your confidence in life, it helps you connect with more people, create deeper relationships, make more sales, make a bigger impact, reach more people in your community. And that is going to be a byproduct of the very thing that you're teaching when they're doing this Be On TV challenge, this boot camp. So imagine the other areas in your life that can be improved by just showing up for a challenge like this. And I love that concept. I think, so often people aren't present. And I actually love the gold nugget you dropped by just turning on your video. Imagine the increase in the presence that you need to have when you turn on your video and the accountability it holds you to. I'm going to start implementing that with all of our video calls. I'm going to tell people you can't get on unless your video's on, because it's going to make such a big difference, right? I love that.
Because they're engaged. And it's forcing, like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like how I look, or I don't like this, or whatever it is. So then they're carrying that into every part of their life. So just by being okay with, all right, I'm going to turn my video, I don't care how I look. I'm going to show up and I'm just going to be engaged, and being an active participant in not only a challenge or a course or a program, but in your life. Being an active participant in your life is so unbelievably important.
And what we tell people in the boot camp is this is a great place to practice doing that, because we all know, we hear it again and again. You got to get outside of your comfort zone. You got to do the thing that scares you, turn on your video, go up to the person, sit next to them, go on, you got to be on Zoom all the time, or you got to go on live on Facebook or Instagram to talk about your business. And that's really hard if we don't practice it. And in our Be On TV Bootcamp, we have this container where we're like, you know what? Everybody put on your video just as you are. No makeup, no hair, no one cares. Be you. We want to be imperfect here. We want to be messy here. We want to mess up. Let's try it. Go live on Facebook for the first time in this Facebook group. We're all supporting you. We're all a family. And it's a great place. A lot of people have come on and gone live for their very first time in our Facebook group in the Be On TV Bootcamp. And because they ripped the Band-Aid off and they got to practice knowing that it was okay to be imperfect, but still feel a little scared, it was the thing that lit the fire, that lit the match. And then, we've got so many stories of people then taking that confidence and going live for the first time on their personal Facebook, and then helping other people with that and getting clients out of that and making money out of that. And then it just snowballs. So you're so right, Lacey. This is not just about getting on TV. For us, really, it is about developing more confidence in your life so that you can essentially help more people build your business.
It's great.
I want to reiterate that, as you guys have both mentioned this. Be On TV Bootcamp, go live with us. So here's what happens. A lot of people, challenges are a thing, and they make a challenge, but it's evergreen, right? So there's like some videos from 3 years ago, something that you did. Yeah, and you have to. Yeah. So this challenge is actually with Chris and Jen live. Like, you guys actually, it's a program, it's a start and end date, and everybody comes on and they get to work with you, like for free on the challenge. What else are they going to be doing over the course of the challenge and learning?
So there's a couple, it's not just 5 days, but I will spoil it a little for you. We've got the pre-party. There's a lot of surprises that we offer, but essentially it's 5 days of training with me and Chris. We get on Zoom, we're there live with you. We do Q&A at the end of every single call, and each day is targeted to a different piece, and it all goes together and works together. We always tell people, trust the process. Day one's all about confidence. Day two is all about clarity on figuring out where you should be in the media, because many people come to us and they're like, I don't even know where I should be. What show should I be on? What publication should I do? We teach you how to find that clarity and how to find those places.
And how to use FOMO as something that fuels you rather than something that stops you. So getting really clear on that.
Yep. And then day three, we talk all about messaging. So many of the people that come to us are like, and I was like this a while ago when I started my business, I don't know how to talk about myself. I don't know how to message what I do to the media, or I don't know how to talk about what I do in a really succinct way. So we teach a really simple strategy to be able to take your story and tie it up in a bow and make it a succinct package to be able to introduce yourself really quickly to the media. So that's day three, all about messaging.
Or to anyone.
Yeah.
Like for pitch, you want to raise money, you're going to get sales, whatever.
You're meeting someone at a party.
Yeah.
Anything.
So we're teaching this. So like that's for so many people, like the messaging part alone is like, it blows their mind that this is something, because it forces you to take action in a short amount of time. That's the beauty of like a challenge, a boot camp. There's only a certain amount of time. So for so many people, they've been, worrying about their messaging, doing all this for so long, and they just like not doing anything. Here, boom, here's a formula. This works. Take action on it. Day 4.
So you get it done day 3. And then day 4, we teach you how to write a media pitch. So we have a PR agency where we represent some of the most incredible people and companies in the entire world, and we're pitching them all day, every day. So we teach our formula that our publicists use every day, and we teach our bootcamp members how to write a pitch. It's like plug and play, the 5 elements of a powerful media pitch. So by the end of day 4, you've got your pitch, you've got your messaging, you've got your clarity on where you're pitching, you've got the confidence, you feel like a badass, and then we all wrap it all together on day 5, and we teach you a very powerful tool to be able to leverage your network to get on TV, to actually take all that stuff you learned and pitch it, connect with people, and get that message on television. And many people in our bootcamp are on TV before the bootcamp is over.
Love that, man. It's all complete. It's more than 5 days, but it's all wrapped up in that one package. BeOnTVBootcamp.com/Black Diamond Club. That's how you get access to this content. Get signed up. It's It's going to launch on January 31st, correct?
Yes.
January 31st, kickoff date. But you got to be all signed up and locked and loaded. Like, don't try and get registered on the 31st. Too late. Not really, but psychologically and life-wise, you don't want to be showing up. You might miss the pre-party if you sign up.
Yeah,
too.
you
So
will.
make sure you get signed up. BeOnTVBootcamp.com/Black Diamond Club. Brag moment, because one of the things that I always say when we're doing this this podcast is I like to get into the minds of the viewers and the listeners. Anybody who's new to Chris and Jen, and we're talking about you guys like everybody knows you, and there might be people that don't know you yet. So who are you to be telling people about how to get on media? I mean, have you ever been on TV? It's your brag moment.
So you want to start?
Well, I've been on TV for a very long time. I was an actress growing up, and I was on TV on VH1 for 14 seasons, and I've done a lot of television, a lot of acting in that space. But then when I transitioned my business from being an actress to being an entrepreneur, I decided I didn't know anything about marketing. So I leveraged the power of media to change the narrative on the story that I was telling. And so I started to get a lot of media and television for my new business. And now together, me and Chris, for our company, we're on TV all the time. So that's my background. Go ahead, Chris.
So for me, I wasn't meant to be an entrepreneur. Like I that was not ever my dream. That wasn't anything that was going to happen for me. I started a job, and I'll get to where the TV comes into this in a second, but I started a job. They stopped paying me after a while. So I decided I'm going to start my own company so I don't have to ever worry about that happening to me again. And I started this marketing firm, and I had no money, no connections. I'd never been on media. And there was a million other firms that were exactly the same. You know, I was a commodity. So one day I'm watching CNBC, and I see this guy on TV, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be that guy. I want to buy whatever he's selling. And I was like, what if I could do that for myself? So I started figuring out exactly how to do it. I got in the New York Times. Then I got in a huge article that got me my first multi-million-dollar client. And from that time on, I think I've been on, 200 different TV publications, all these different things, anything you can imagine. I also write for Time and Inc. and Entrepreneur and, Fast Company, all these different things. So I have always leveraged the power of media to build businesses. And then I realized about 4 years ago, actually my friends told me, like, listen, teach this to other people. People don't understand this. So that's my background.
I have one last question as we're wrapping up, because I know that a lot of our listeners, they're not necessarily just solopreneurs, and they have teams and employees and people that help them and work with them. Would you recommend, or how would somebody go about having actually a team member going on the boot camp so that they can actually help the individual get placed? Is that something that would work out? Is this an appropriate thing for them?
100%. As long as it's somebody that is willing to learn and that they're going to bring that back. It's the most unbelievable education that they could get.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we've had a lot of people do that.
Perfect.
And then lastly, tell us about then beyond just the boot camp, you guys offer services. And I don't want people to think either that this is just like information marketing and you guys came up with this clever boot camp and we're pitching this online. You guys offer the full gamut of services. Like you said, you have an agency, Super Connected Media. Talk to us about what's beyond, for different levels of engagement for people that are like, look, I hear what you're saying. Love you guys. Just want to push my chips in. Get me on TV. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. So just like you said, so we have an actual agency. So we're not just like people that watched a few YouTube videos or bought a course and became experts and gurus overnight. We have an agency and we work with absolutely, you guys are clients. We've worked with Kevin Harrington, the original shark from Shark Tank, Les Brown, Jim Quick, also tons of really venture-backed startups. And, we work with very high-level people and we get amazing results for them. And also where this all was born out of was an event called Unfair Advantage Live that we do in New York City. And that's the event that I started doing to teach entrepreneurs to teach people how to get in the media and then connect them with the media right there at the event. So we also do that. And then we also, we run a business mastermind, because a lot of times people are like, hey, how do you market this so well? How does your funnel, like all these things? So then we started a media and, business mastermind as well.
I love that. One of the common connections that we have, David Meltzer talks about the compounding effect of action.
Yeah.
Because everybody understands the compounding effect of finances, money, and take a penny, double it every day for 30 days, over $5.2 million, right?
Yep.
But the compounding effect of taking action, right? So, he talks about, 20 minutes a day is better than 2 hours on Saturday. And this is one of those opportunities for you to take advantage of the compounding effect of action. And the starting point, if you want media, you don't just like wake up tomorrow and get a phone call from your local ABC news station. It's not how it works. It's the compounding effect of taking action. And the first action that you need to take is to go to www.beontvbootcamp.com/Black Diamond Club. And then you just enter in your information.
Yep.
And that sets off a chain of events. All of a sudden, everything starts going. And then you commit to it. You just you log in the time a little bit each and every day. Next thing you know, just like the stories, testimonials that they've shared, next thing you know, you're on TV and you're like, how did this happen? And then your mom is calling you. I saw you on TV, and your friends are calling you. And not only that, they teach you how to take that once you get the exposure and amplify it, right? You've got to be able to amplify it, because one appearance on TV is great. But when we amplify that across social media, you're able to put that on Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. You've got it on your website. Everybody is talking about you.
But
all of a sudden your life changes.
But most importantly, other people's lives are changed.
Yes. And that's
because your
huge.
message is out there.
So everybody's concerned about the $5.2 million with a penny a day that doubles. Nobody has a penny a day, penny that doubles every day for 30 days. But people do have time. You do have the time, and you can go and sign up, and you can put in the time. And the compounding effect of action is exactly the same. You can literally create a $5.2 million plus windfall in your business, in your life, and in other people's lives if you just take action. And I hope that people will do that. www.beontvbootcamp.com/Black Diamond Club. Chris and Jen, thank you for sharing your time with us.
We love you guys. Thank you
you
so much. This was so fun.
Thank you guys.
You guys are fantastic. And again, I hope that people will take action immediately. All right, folks, that's it for today's edition of the None of Your Business podcast. We'll be back again next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell your friends all about the podcast, because we're going to keep bringing you great content just like today.